Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of The Source. Got one more video to do for Friday night. Still talking college football rivalry week. Florida State, Florida should be a good one. Let's go.
Welcome to The Source. The Source. Source. Hey, get the Source.
All right, Gators are on the road at Florida State here. The line is FSU minus 9.5, and the early public is definitely on Florida State. But look at that sharp money on the Gators early. 70% of the money on Florida as of Monday morning. Money doesn't stay on Florida for long, though. In fact, here we are on Wednesday night. We're looking at 68% of the tickets and 68% of the money on Florida State now. So public is heavy on Florida State. Line doesn't move a muscle. Still looking at FSU minus 9.5. So let's cap this game. If you subscribe to this channel, you already know the first step. We're running the numbers through the spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Florida State minus 19.07. So that's a 9.5 point lean on the Noles. Big lean on the Noles here. So let's break down this matchup. And obviously, we know that the Florida Gators stock is in the toilet right now after losing to Vandy. I mean, if you give up 175 rushing yards to Vanderbilt, that's absolutely terrifying, especially when you're about to go on the road and play a Florida State team that's averaging 5.3 yards a carry, 16th best in the country. But one thing I do want to say, there are not many flat spots in college football because there's so few games. Almost every game is meaningful, right? But if there was ever an SEC flat spot, it would be Florida on the road at Vanderbilt last week. They had just clinched bowl eligibility in their South Carolina win the week before. They were no longer in contention for the SEC championship game. In all honesty, what was Florida playing for on the road at Vanderbilt? I mean, I'm not trying to make excuses for the loss. I'm just saying, there's not many flat spots in college football, but if there ever was one, it was that game. Also, let's not forget that Florida looked good as hell in the two games before Vanderbilt. First, they go on the road at Texas A&M, beat them by 17. On the road in Texas A&M. And then they beat South Carolina 38-6 the week after that. I am not ready to say that Florida State is 10 points better than Florida after one flat game against Vandy. And seriously, look at Florida State's schedule. Where are the impressive wins? Yeah, they beat LSU, but that was all the way back in week 1. And LSU had a brand new head coach, a brand new quarterback. None of those pieces had played together before. LSU is a completely different team now than they were in week 1. And what is Florida State's most impressive win since then? Seriously, what do you think Florida State's most impressive win has been since week 1 in their last 9 football games? Syracuse, who's losing to everybody? Louisiana, the Cajuns? I mean, Georgia Tech, Boston College. I mean, these are terrible football teams. On the road at Louisville is Florida State's second best win, but they only won that game 35-31, and their defense got absolutely cooked by Malik Cunningham. Cunningham had 370 total yards and 3 touchdowns in that game. That should alarm you a little bit if you're a Florida State fan, because Anthony Richardson is somewhat comparable to Malik Cunningham. Both big, physical, mobile quarterbacks with big arms. And Anthony Richardson is surrounded with more talent on the Florida offense than Cunningham is on the Louisville offense. The Gators have the 21st best ranked offense in the entire country. Louisville's all the way back at 65th. If they were struggling to stop Malik Cunningham and the Louisville offense, what are the Gators about to do? Look, I completely get why Florida State is pretty heavily favored here, but 9.5 is a big number to lay in a rivalry game against a team that should have no problem scoring points. I mean, if Florida is able to go on the road at Texas A&M and put up 500 yards and 41 points on the Aggies, they should have no problem ripping the Florida State defense up. Don't get me wrong, Florida State is going to score points right back. This Florida defense has been a liability for most of the season, and Jordan Travis is real good. So Florida State's going to score a shitload of points right back. Don't worry. And that's exactly how I see this game going. I think both Anthony Richardson and Jordan Travis are going to have monster stat lines. I think we're looking at this is going to be an awesome one. I think it's going to be a Friday night shootout here on Rivalry Week. When we're looking at a shootout, obviously, laying 9.5 points is not in our best interest. So I'm taking the Gators and I'm taking the over. Give me the over at 57.5 and give me those points. I want Florida plus 9.5. Let's go. If anything changes with these bets, I will let you know on Twitter. So give me a follow there if you want. Also, if you want the final tickets that we do for all the sports that me and the staff do, bet of the day, parlays of the day, top bets, that kind of stuff, head over to KyleKirms.com or download the Sauce Network app. It's rivalry week. It's Thanksgiving weekend. Awesome weekend for football. A lot of opportunities to make some money or lose some money. Let's bet responsibly, and everyone have a nice holiday.